Welcome to another AussieHome.com TV show. In a packed program today, we have Gareth Andrews, all the way from Melbourne, talking about property investing there. Phil explains why money is not always evil. And we sit down with Nikki Painker from the Property Exchange, who's this week's insider. And then we interview Sacha de Breton-Gordon, $1 Million Makeovers, and finish up in East Perth. So, let's get into it.
These days, home buyers are looking for real value. And while price is important, real value isn't just about today, it's also about all the days to come. Because as the years go by, a well-designed home will improve your life. And a well-built home will keep looking good day after day. At Dale Alcock Homes, we've built a reputation for homes that are good value for today and for tomorrow.
Well, Gareth, thanks for being on the Aussie Home Show. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlie.
Before I ask you about property in Melbourne, I've got to ask you about the Geelong Cats. They've had a great couple of seasons. You're the vice president of the club, been there for many years. Have they done anything different in the last couple of seasons that have led to this success, do you think?
Well, I think the success of the footy club comes back to values and culture and doing something which, over a long period of time, you get the right people, you get them in the right positions, and you just develop a good strategy around all of that. But it doesn't happen quickly, and that the same thing happens in business.
And has there been anything you've done differently, though, in the last couple of years? Has there been certain people in certain positions, or...?
Oh, yes. I think it's a matter of always being prepared to change and always look for the best. In football, is if you're going to win a premiership, you've got to have the best team on the ground in grand final time.
So is there anything special you've done over the last couple of seasons that have led to success?
No, because I don't think success happens over a couple of years, Charlie. Right. Our board came on at the footy club 11 years ago, and it was a matter of just building up a culture and a group of people who are going to be ready. But we originally thought it was going to be in 3 years and then 5 years and 7 years, but it just takes more than that to get the right people, and you have to have a group of people who are going to be able to win in September.
Right. Now, can you take some of that success and put that into other walks of life, so into lifestyle, into your business life, into property investing? Have you got crossover of wins from the coaching and the sporting side to the other areas?
Yeah, I think there's massive crossovers in every single area. We, in fact, at Geelong, we followed a philosophy of a great American, Jim Collins, who wrote a book, Good to Great. And Good to Great is all about, it's easy to be good, but it's hard to be great. And I think in whatever part of your life or your business, it's easy to just go along and say, yeah, we're good enough, and there are no measures. But in what we're doing as a footy club, there is a measure. It's winning the flag. You know, one team wins a flag, 15 don't. So from going to good to great, ultimately there's a prize at the end.
So Gareth, moving from coaching and footy success into business life and property life, have you seen the good to great concept move over there?
I think that there's a natural movement from what happens on the sporting field into life and in business, Charlie. And I think the natural things, as far as I can see, is that it does take time. It takes plans. It means that you've got to get the right people involved and teach them the right values, but be prepared to give it time.
So, talking now about the Melbourne property market, you come over here to beautiful WA. Any differences between West Australia and the Victorian market that you see from your perspective?
Look, I think that I have a belief in investing in inner city property.
Right.
And so that's, if as an investor, if you, it's most important that you start doing it, that you get on the bike and you do it. And I believe in that totally. whether that's Western Australians investing in Perth or Western Australians investing in Victoria or vice versa.
Yeah.
In a way, it doesn't matter. Don't try to read the markets. One thing we do know about Melbourne is it's a growing city. In fact, it's predicted to be the largest city in Australia by 2025.
Right, so it's going to outgrow Sydney.
Oh, absolutely. And so that's a total reversal of what people were talking about 20 years ago.
Right.
But when you talk about Western Australia and when you look at the economy here, I think Western Australia lost a bit of ground over the last year or two, but there was nothing wrong with that because it became a bit pumped up.
Yeah.
But I think it's back to a good solid position now, and with the mining boom, and that's going to go on forever.
Yeah.
Resources
We
are going
think
to
so.
go.
We
Oh,
think
there's
so.
no question about that. Resources will go forever.
Yeah.
People are more mobile
Yeah.
in terms of where they'll invest. So whereas in the past you used to invest down the road, today you'll invest where it seems appropriate for you at the time.
So in that answer, do I detect, or could I detect, what some people think, is that WA has got to be expensive and that Victoria there's more potential at the moment? Or would you not agree with that argument?
No, I don't agree with that.
Right.
I believe that both of them are going to be very strong markets into the future. Melbourne is a very established market that doesn't go through the sort of the cyclical change that maybe happens in Perth or maybe happens in Sydney.
Yeah.
Melbourne's a flatter, more natural growth city.
So I was going to ask, what drives then the economy of Melbourne? We know that the resource industry here is big. There's going to be a generational boom in resources, going to feed through to real estate in WA next 20 years probably. In Melbourne, a flatter growth, but what's driving that? Is that just population growth?
I think it's
natural
population growth, which comes from people wanting to live there.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a service city,
Right.
whereas Sydney quickly became an international city. Melbourne is a service city that services Australia, and it's recognised worldwide now.
Yeah.
One of the big things about Melbourne, which must never be forgotten in this exercise, is education.
Right.
We sell education to the world now, and part of the inner city growth and what underpins the inner city apartment market or property market in Melbourne are students. Number one, Asian investors. Number two, Asian, and I'm not talking about just Asian, I'm talking also subcontinent. Huge growth rates from those areas, and it's all about education.
Coming up next, we catch up with our insider, Nikki Pinker from the Property Exchange.
But I think we will get back into our normal 10% rise within the next 12 months.